a little bit. Okay. Now there are two parts to this theorem. That is angle subtended by an arc at the center. Okay. Angle subtended by an arc at the center. Okay, they're actually talking about two angles. First is angle subtended by an arc at the center. Let us consider that the angle subtended by this arc AC. What is the angle subtended by this arc AC at the center? This is your 120 degree, right? This is the first part. The next part is angle subtended angle subtended by the remaining part of this arc, by the remaining arc on the circle. This time on the circle. This was at the center. This is on the circle. Okay, so there are two parts to this question. Okay, the arc that I showed you with this AC, this arc subtends 120 degree at the center. So I have taken care of this. Okay, angle subtended by the remaining part of the circle. What is the remaining part of the circle? Excluding this arc AC, what is the remaining arc? The remaining arc is this one, right? And what is the angle made by it at this on the remaining part of the circle? It is x, right? AC on the arc AC, you have at the center you have the angle 120 degree at the center. Remember, by the arc AC, and the remaining part of the arc on the circle, you have the angle x here. Okay, according to this theorem, it states that when you multiply this angle by 2, you will get this angle subtended by an arc at the center. Okay, so that means here in this case you have x as the angle subtended on the remaining part of the circle, which must be, if you multiply this by 2, you must get the angle subtended by the arc at the center. So that means x must be equal to 120 divided by 2, which is 60 degree. That means this angle on the remaining part of the circle, on the remaining part of the circle, remember, on the remaining part of the circle, on the circle, this is at the center. Okay, this is the remaining part on the circle, this is angle subtended by an arc at the center. Okay, so whatever angle is there on the circumference, that angle must be half the angle at the center. Okay, whatever angle is at the circumference, that is this x, that must be half the angle made at the center, 120. Okay, in order to find y, in order to find y, you find out the reflex angle. This, what is the remaining reflex angle? 360 minus 120, which is 240, right? Now if you see, 240 is the angle at the center, right? 240 is the angle at the center. What is the angle at the circumference? The angle at the circumference is y. So therefore, twice the angle at the circumference must be equal to angle at the center. That means y must be equal to 240 by 2, which is 120 degree. Okay, so that is what the concept of angle at the center and angle at the circumference, or angle subtended by an arc at the center and angle subtended by the remaining part of the arc on the circle. That is what the entire concept is. Okay. Now, as we proceed further, the things are going to get a little more clearer. So, let us see a corollary to this theorem. A corollary to this theorem is that if you have two equal arcs, you have an arc, say AB, and you have another arc, CD, such that their lengths are equal. The lengths are equal means the length of this arc, CD, is equal to the length of this arc. So we also write it this way: arc AB is equal to arc CD, given. Then what you can conclude according to this theorem is that any angle that these two arcs subtend on the circle, any angle that these two arcs subtend on the circle, they must be equal. Any angle that these two arcs subtend on the circle, they must be equal. So let us draw two angles on the arc CD. Let us draw this angle and on the arc EB, let us draw this angle. Okay. On the arc CD, we have drawn the angle CPD, that is this angle. And on the arc AB, we have drawn this angle, that is AQB.